Hello and welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. After our less than stellar performance with the River Heralds deck, we're going to start by clearing out we're going to start streamlining this deck essentially. We're going to start clearing out a lot of the higher casting cost spells and the spells that don't are not they're quite okay but not exactly what we're looking for. So first we're going to take out the dive downs. We're going to remove our singleton Jade Bearer. Is technically it's this more of a this more like a combat trick with a basically it's a 1/1 that gives another creature +1/+1. You want to cast this much later. It's not really a 1-drop. Jade Guardian. I'm actually sure it has hexproof and it does pump itself, so it's a 3/3 with hexproof. That's quite okay. But we actually have to decide how we're going to approach this deck, because the deck right now has two teams. One is it can go tall. Basically, it just keeps pumping itself up with counters. We see it in Jade Guardian. We also see it in Shapers of Nature. We didn't exactly draw this card, and it's quite mana intensive, so we will drop that. We also saw that with River Herald's Boon is a nice Vine Shaper Mystic, puts down two counters. So we can choose to go with the counters route, especially since Forerunner of the Heralds also does that. The alternate option is to stick with the go wide approach, because a lot of our creatures are still squishy even with the counters. It takes a bit of an investment in order to get that many get our creature to grow big enough. So we've stripped out a few cards. So Seafloor Oracle, this one gives us card draw, but it really combos with Herald, but that's 2 4-drops, so I'm gonna drop the Seafloor Oracle. Herald of Secret Streams, base unblockability all around, that's okay too. That's also another question, because several of our smaller 1-drops are creatures that can't be blocked, like Mistcloak Herald and River Sneak. An alternate solution is, if we do go tall, we want to keep these guys. If we want to go wide, we don't necessarily have to. Let's see, Tempest Caller, tap all creatures. I would much rather have another Merfolk rather than that. Waker of the Wilds, quite good 3/3 for 4 mana, has an activated ability, turns our lands into creatures, but you basically have to be in a board stall or in a winning position in order to take advantage of this. Sure, you can activate this at the end of your turn, but if you're falling behind, not so great. Windstrider, let's drop that one for now. Oh yeah, also don't forget, we're gonna drop... We'll fix the woodland streams later, so let's see. So looking at that, if we do the go wide approach, Jungleborn Pioneer, basically 3 power across 2 bodies. One of them is hexproof. I'm actually okay with that. I'd rather drop the Wayfinder in that case. Oh yeah, my group is actually playing Everwing again. It's actually quite fun, and you never know. Sometimes the game comes back. Anyway, so I'm gonna put in the Jungleborn Pioneers. I'm also going to put in Jade Light Rangers. It's much better than Tishana's Wayfinder. So let's boost that. 3 copies of... Let's see. Yeah, Jungleborn Pioneer. Yeah, let's put the 3rd copy of that. Jungle Delver has to go. Jade Guardian. Yeah, I'm not too convinced anymore. That one has to go. So we have some explore, adds counters, basically can get big. And okay, we'll add more Silvergill Adepts, because that's we actually gonna go full set, because that's our card draw. In that same line, we're also going to go We're also gonna go all in on the Merfolk Mistbinders. That's one way to take advantage of go wide. So I'm gonna drop the Waker of the Wilds. Swift Warden, this one gives us some protection, so I'm actually gonna add another copy of that. Now take note, we already have plenty of tree drops, so I'm probably should actually start cutting some of the other tree drops, or it's our 4-drop. Forerunner of the Heralds, this is a good 4-drop. Deep Root Waters, that's not a good tree drop. Let's see, we're also gonna drop the one with the wind. I'd rather have another River Heralds boon. Swift Warden, Fine Shaper Mystic. Actually, we can drop this one safely. So I'm gonna fill out some of the other. I'm gonna fill out a few other cards first. So first, as I said, we're gonna need some combat tricks. So I'm going to put in Blink of an Eye. That also doubles as our card draw. 3 copies should be okay. Do we want a fight? I already took out one with the wind. If we needed the fight effect, I'm thinking of Cartouche of Strength, but not too keen on that. So let's just leave it with 3 copies of Blink of an Eye. Let's add another River Sneak. Let's drop Kumena Speaker. We could actually add another Mistcloak Herald. This makes us primarily early blue. Alternately, we could just add Branch Walkers instead. Because we're not exactly an Explore deck, but Explore is one mechanic that gives us some form of card draw. It will help us filter through cards we don't need. It puts lands in our hands so we don't waste our turn drawing them. That's one way to get around it. But we do need to add one more mythic. We're gonna add Kumena Tyrant of Araska. This is a 3-drop I can get behind. With enough Merfolk, it's a complete package. So we actually do want to have go wide strategy at this one. I'm probably gonna drop Kopala since it's not so great. Right now, I tend to just put 1 copy of each legendary, but if you have enough mythic wild cards, I'd probably put a second, or drop Tishana, put a third. That's how good he is. So Herald of Seek, yeah, we're pretty much doing a go tall. We're doing go tall with possible unblockability. That's why we're also keeping Hadana's Climb. I'm gonna actually drop Chart the Course since we're not attacking so early anymore. I'm gonna put the Hieroglyphic Illumination. At least it's instant speed. 2, we can chip it in early with cycling. And I'm going to ditch the Woodland Streams for now in favor of. Okay, I'm trying to remember what that land is called. So. Yeah, Hinterland Harbor. So always substitute when possible. So we're gonna put 1. We're gonna go complete all 4. Now let's take a look at let's analyze this right now. Let's see what our mana base is like. And we're more green than blue, so we're gonna cut on islands. In fact, let's take a look at more green, either green Merfolk or good green spells. Actually, there's one green spell I could think of. It's a new one from Dominaria. It basically adds it's an instant speed put +1/+1 counter. It also has kicker. So okay, I can't exactly remember every spell. Also, we're still getting we're gonna get a lot of entries here. So forgive me for that one. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one. Deeproot Champion's a good option too because he starts out okay. We actually have two choices here. There's Deeproot Champion, but we don't have enough non-creature spells. There is, however, Deeproot Elite. This one allows us to put. This one's much better because we're playing a ton of merfolk, so I'd actually put that in instead. So let's take. So we might actually be doing a high creature count here. So if that is the case, we can reduce. I don't. River Sneaks is River. I much rather have River Sneaks, but I guess what we can do is we can drop the Branch Walkers in favor of the Deeproot Elites, because we are playing with Jungleborn Pioneers. So Deeproot Elite into Jungleborn Pioneer is going to basically add 2+1/+1 counters. We can put it on the Elite. We can put it on the token with Hexproof. So we have options there. Silvergill Adept. We could cut it down to 3. The more important, our Mistbinder is much more important. So we can cut this down. We can go easy on the blue. In that case, we need some green removal spells that cost less than 3. As much as I'd like Ambushcade, that one's a bit expensive. So let's check out our fight options. Cartouche of Strength costs 3. Hunt the Weak costs 4. Pounce is a good one. Costs 2. It's instant. Prey Upon cost 1 is a sorcery, but this is from Aether Revolt. Search Territorial Allosaurus. Prepare to Fight if I'm not. Yeah, it's white green. Yeah, pretty much. If we're going to go the cheap route, it's only Pounce, but it's card disadvantage in itself. We may have to settle for Ambuscade. Ambuscade. So it gets +1/+0, deals the damage equal to its power. So let's take a look at our mana distribution. Okay, it's mostly 2 drops. We can afford to put a few 3 drops. I'm still gonna leave Tishana, as expensive as she is, because this is also one way to redraw our hand. Alternately, we probably could just drop her altogether. Okay, let's add Ambuscade. Let's add 2 copies. Okay, we're gonna keep the 2 Forerunners because that costs 4. So in fact, what we can do is Swift Warden. Kind of suspicious. Can actually just choose to. I'm gonna reduce the number of River Heralds boons. Probably just. I could actually just remove it altogether, but we do need some pump effects. I'm going to reduce it to 2. I'm going to cut one of our 2 drop. No, let's cut the let's just cut Swift Warden altogether. Let's streamline it into 1 copy of Ambuscade. 1 copy of. Yeah, let's fill in the Silvergill Adept, and and we can always just add Planeswalkers if we want to. And this one's actually a good fit. So let's kill the filter. So we're actually gonna add a copy of Nissa, Steward of Elements. Nice thing about her is you can is that she basically helps put down more creatures on her, and you can cast her for 3 and above. So basically we're gonna add 1 copy of her. use her something like a. Basically reminds me of Aether Vial in that sense. So we're gonna put her in. Base acts as a finisher for our own also. Then let's analyze, see how the mana base looks now. So this one's actually quite a more expensive build. Kumena's quite expensive. Nissa is a bit on the expensive side as well. So 24 creatures. We got more instants. I can see an argument for replacing River Heralds Boon with more Blink of an Eye, more Ambuscade. 4 Hinterland Harbors. Our mana distribution is a bit better, and do note that we have Jade Light Ranger, double green. So I'm okay with leaning towards more forests. We could actually sub out a few forests too, because we're not a one drop deck anymore. We're not relying on our one drops anymore. In fact, we don't have any. So let's see, Memorial. I could easily put an Arc of Vraska here, but let's start with Memorial to Glory. This is the green one, right? No, that's the white one. Memorial to Unity is the green one. This one helps refill our hand. We can either do this or play with Adventurous Impulse. That's a it's a green sorcery. Searches through the top 3 cards. Lets you get a creature or a land. In fact, what we can do is give ourselves some early drops by replacing the River Heralds Boon. Drop 1 copy of either Ambuscade or Blink of an Eye. Probably Ambuscade, that's more expensive. Drop those 3, replace them with Adventurous Impulses. That gives us some early play as well. But for now, let's add 1 copy of Memorial to Unity. We can actually play a second one, I suppose. So let's add 2 of those. Let's cut down our forests to 9. Then we're gonna adjust our spells a bit. So -1 Ambuscade. Yeah. Then let's drop the. Yeah, it's a shame this is our only pump effect, but I guess we can lean on Merfolk Mistbinder instead. Also, our other creatures can pump themselves, so it's really it's a self-built go tall strategy. It just goes a little taller later with other creatures. So we're gonna drop the River Herald's Boon. Let's get Adventurous. Adventurous Impulse. It's between this card and Opt. Opt just Christ one allows us to draw a card, but here we get some choice. We do, because it's not just enough to just, I'm gonna draw a creature. We need to draw the creature we actually want. In the previous games that we played, we ended up drawing a lot of. We did draw Merfolk, we just didn't draw the right Merfolk, so to speak. So that's so this is our deck. And let's analyze it one more time and take a look at it visually. And so we still keep the mana distribution. We do have a few more spells now. We still have plenty of creatures. But most of all of our spells are okay, not all of our spells are instant. But basically these help fill out the curve in a sense. Like, we do have a lot of 2-drops, so if we don't have a good 3-drop, we can play a 2-drop, and 1 Adventurous Impulse helps set up the next turn. That's one way to go about it. Alternately, we can go towards a more controlling blue route. It actually helps with it actually plays well with go wide in a sense. We can, instead of a lot of our green go tall creatures, we can play we can just play more Jungleborn we're actually playing a lot of Jungleborn Pioneers already. But there are But there is the enchantment that you cast a merfolk spell, produces a merfolk. There's an enchantment costs 4 but puts 2/1/1 merfolk on the board and has an activated ability that gives target merfolk hexproof. That's one way to protect your guys. In fact, I can actually see dropping one island. Let's just add the arch. What one colorless mana is not gonna hurt too much. And we do have a bit of a go wide strategy that we can afford to that I say this, that ascend is not an impossible dream. We can make it. So okay, let's analyze that now for real. And take a look at, and here's what the deck looks like graphically. So now standard, there are plenty of planeswalkers I could have put. There's the red white Huatli, I could have put her in, but truth be told, she didn't fit the play style of the deck so much, so she was not an easy shoe. Wasn't an instant shoe in. Here, Nissa is a good shoe in. You are gonna find mostly lands or creatures. You can also help set up a bit with Scry 2, but only half of our cards are, but only about 20% of our deck is spells. So we're quite easily bound to hit. So this is what it looks like. It's a lot more streamlined. Mostly 2-drops, bunch of good 3-drops. We get some decent draw. We get some decent draw. Forerunner can go tall. Deeproot Elite helps us go tall as well. Blink of an Eye for early control. Hadana's Climb helps more with the go tall strategy. So Adventurous Impulse and Memorial to Unity to draw into more creatures. So this is our payoff. And that's it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you enjoyed this, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment also. It's a pleasure talking to you. I haven't exactly been talking that much, but it's actually nice to be able to hear from you guys once in a while. Even if it's someone yelling, "Oh, you suck." Okay, I admit I'm not the greatest Magic player on the planet. But if in any way watching me play or watching me think things through helps you become a better player, even if it means, oh, I'm not gonna oh, this is what he's thinking, I probably should do something else then. It's a nice way to I guess I succeeded in a sense. Anyway, so that's it for this episode. Thank you very much and hope to see you guys again next time.